Woolly mammoths thrived on icy tundras, digging through ice for food. Their massive claws are perfectly adapted for digging through layers of thick ice and snow in search of vegetation. This is the domain of the woolly mammoth. To survive the Pleistocene mammoth steppe, you needed more than just fur and tusks. You had to be adapted for a world frozen in time. Let's dive into how these giants thrived in one of Earth's harshest environments. 1. The body armor. First up, body armor. Woolly mammoths weren't just covered in hair. They also had protective features that helped them survive the harsh Pleistocene conditions. Osteoderms, or bony plates embedded within their skin, provided additional protection from both cold climates and predators. These plates acted like nature's own chainmail, offering an extra layer of warmth and defense, making the woolly mammoth a formidable creature in its environment. But here's a twist. Scientists used to think osteoderms were just for defense against predators like saber-toothed cats. Turns out, these bony plates also helped regulate body temperature in freezing climates by acting as natural insulators, protecting vital organs from the cold. Now onto fur. Woolly mammoths had incredibly thick coats with 2 layers. One layer of short, dense underfur to trap heat close to the skin, and another layer of long, shaggy guard hairs for wind resistance. This dual-layered coat would have been essential for survival in the harsh cold of the Pleistocene Ice Age, much like how a modern winter parka protects us from freezing temperatures during snowstorms. But here's where it gets really interesting. Beneath all that fur was a layer of fat as thick as your arm. This fat wasn't just padding, it was survival gear. It insulated their bodies, kept them warm in the frigid cold, and provided an energy reserve to survive lean times when food was scarce. 3. The diet. So, how did they find enough to eat? Woolly mammoths had a diet that might surprise you. These grazers supplemented their grass and sedge consumption by scavenging bark from trees during winter when other plants were buried under snow. They used their massive tusks like shovels to dig through ice and snow, stripping tree bark for sustenance when vegetation was scarce. But here's the kicker. They needed massive amounts of food daily, up to 180 kilograms. That's equivalent to about 25% of a fully grown human adult's weight in food. Imagine consuming that much every day just to survive. And yet, somehow, these mammoths managed it by roaming vast areas and adapting their diet based on seasonal availability. 4. The social structure. Mammoths weren't loners. They lived in groups called herds, which was crucial for survival. Larger herds provided more eyes and ears to detect predators and locate food. Imagine 100 mammoths moving together. It's like a living fortress against the harsh Pleistocene elements. But here's the twist. These herds had complex social structures similar to those of modern elephants. They cared for their young, had leadership roles, and even exhibited behaviors indicative of mourning their dead. This wasn't just survival of the fittest. It was also about the resilience of community bonds. Woolly mammoths could live up to 60 years in the wild, which is remarkable given the harsh conditions of their Pleistocene environment. Their longevity can be attributed to several factors, including a slow maturation process. They reached full size around age 20, allowing ample time for learning survival skills from experienced adults. But here's a mind-bender. Even with all these adaptations, woolly mammoths still went extinct. Why? Because the climate changed more rapidly than they could adapt. The alternating cold and warm periods of the Pleistocene were too extreme for them to survive indefinitely. It's like trying to live in winter clothing during summer. 6. The final blow. So how did these giants meet their end? There are 2 main theories. One is that humans hunted them into extinction, with massive tusks and pelts providing valuable resources. Imagine a group of early humans successfully taking down one of these mammoths. It's a testament to their ingenuity and adaptability in the face of formidable prey. The other theory is climate change. As the Pleistocene ended and temperatures rapidly increased, the environment transformed too quickly for woolly mammoths to adapt. Imagine trying to survive in a hot savanna if you were accustomed to cold, ice age conditions. It would be equally challenging for them. But here's something even more shocking. Woolly mammoth remains have been found on remote Arctic islands long after mainland populations disappeared. These isolated populations were essentially trapped by rising sea levels and shifting ice age environments, unable to migrate back to the mainland. Their final holdouts were cut off from their main populations, surviving in small, genetically distinct groups until as recently as 4,000 years ago. So what do we take away? Woolly mammoths weren't just giant beasts. They were marvels of evolution, adapting in ways that allowed them to thrive for millennia on the Pleistocene mammoth steppe. However, ultimately, they couldn't escape the forces of changing climates and human impact. It's a reminder that even the most resilient species can fall when the world changes too quickly. Imagine this. These mammoths thrived through harsh ice age winters thanks to their massive tusks, thick coats of hair for insulation, and strong social bonds. Yet in the end, those very adaptations couldn't protect them from the rapid climate shifts and habitat loss that came with a warming planet. It's a sobering reminder of how vulnerable even the most resilient species can be to environmental change. So here's your final takeaway. When you think of woolly mammoths, don't just picture giants on ice. Think about their intricate social structures, remarkable cold weather adaptations, and a species that endured for millennia across the vast Pleistocene mammoth steppe before succumbing to a combination of human hunting and climate change. Imagine that formidable claw. It wasn't just an adaptation for navigating snowy landscapes, but a testament to its evolutionary success and adaptability. Yet, like many megafauna of the Pleistocene, even this mighty creature eventually succumbed to the environmental changes and human pressures that reshaped the Earth. Imagine you're wandering the Pleistocene steppe, surrounded by towering mammoths. These giants weren't just big, they were perfectly adapted for survival in harsh, cold climates. Their massive bodies provided excellent insulation against freezing temperatures. Their long, shaggy coats protected them from bitter winds, and their curved tusks helped them break through ice to reach food sources like vegetation hidden beneath the snow. But let's talk about something even more surprising: mammoth social structures. Scientists have discovered evidence suggesting mammoths lived in family units much like modern elephants, protecting each other, raising their young collectively, and forming close-knit communities. This behavior is a fascinating example of complex social dynamics in Ice Age megafauna. Here's the kicker. Some researchers believe woolly mammoth relatives, like Mammoths primigenius, engaged in sophisticated behaviors. Yes, you heard right, behaviors that suggest advanced cognition. Imagine these massive creatures using rocks to dig for food or break apart ice. That level of intelligence is mind-blowing, highlighting just how adaptable and clever these Ice Age giants were. Now, let's get into their diet. Mammoths were grazers, but they weren't picky eaters. They would munch on grasses, sedges, and even browse on shrubs and tree bark when times got tough. This adaptability was crucial for survival in the fluctuating Pleistocene mammoth steppe environment, which underwent seasonal changes and occasional climate shifts. But here's where it gets really wild. Scientists have discovered that woolly mammoths had a highly specialized gut system designed to extract the most nutrition from their diet. Their digestive processes were finely tuned to maximize nutrient absorption, even in the harsh, resource-scarce environments of the Pleistocene mammoth steppe. And then there's the woolly mammoth's incredible sense of smell. They could detect food sources from great distances, allowing them to navigate vast icy landscapes using scent alone. Imagine being able to find your next meal just by sniffing the air, a crucial skill for survival in the harsh Pleistocene steppe environment. Now, let's talk about their decline. It wasn't just climate change that did them in. Human activity played a significant role as well. Early humans hunted mammoths for meat, bones, and hides, disrupting their habitats through activities like starting fires and altering landscapes. This dual threat of environmental shifts and human interference ultimately sealed the fate of these mighty creatures. Think about it. We're talking about an animal like the woolly mammoth, which thrived during multiple ice age cycles of the Pleistocene, but struggled to survive as Earth's climate warmed and faced pressure from human hunting. That's something to really ponder, isn't it? So when you think back on woolly mammoths, remember this. They weren't just symbols of prehistoric power. They were complex social animals with remarkable survival skills. Living during the Pleistocene epoch, these giants adapted to the extreme cold of the mammoth steppe, showcasing resilience and intelligence as they navigated a rapidly changing environment. Imagine walking through a Pleistocene landscape where mammoths roamed freely. Suddenly, you hear distant thunder, but it's not rain clouds gathering. It's a herd stampeding in panic. Humans were often the cause of such disturbances, driving herds into dangerous situations or disrupting their migratory paths. This interaction played a crucial role in shaping both human and mammoth survival strategies during this era. Mammoths thrived in the vast grasslands of the Pleistocene, where abundant vegetation sustained them through long, harsh winters. However, as human populations expanded, more land was cleared for settlements and agriculture, reducing mammoth habitats and fragmenting their populations. Isolated herds faced increased inbreeding and reduced genetic diversity, weakening their resilience to environmental pressures and diseases. Fire was another tool early humans used to shape their environment. By setting controlled burns in the expansive steppe grasslands of the Pleistocene, they transformed the landscape into one more suitable for human habitation and hunting. These fires destroyed mammoth food sources like grasses and shrubs, leading to a fragmented habitat that made it harder for mammoths to find sustenance, ultimately threatening their survival. In the end, it wasn't just the mammoths that suffered. Entire ecosystems underwent significant changes. The disappearance of these megafauna disrupted plant communities and affected smaller animals that relied on them. This is a stark reminder of how interconnected all living things are. Remove one crucial component, and the consequences can ripple through an ecosystem. So when you think about woolly mammoths, remember not just their strength, but also the delicate balance they navigated as they adapted to the harsh conditions of the Pleistocene mammoth steppe. Their story teaches us about the power of human impact and the vulnerability of ecosystems in the face of change. Think about that next time you see an Ice Age film or a stuffed mammoth in a museum. Imagine walking through a landscape where mammoths once thrived on the Pleistocene steppes, but now all you find are their ancient bones protruding from the soil. These fossils tell a tale of adaptation and survival, of creatures facing relentless environmental challenges that eventually pushed them to the brink. The mammoth steppe wasn't just home to these giants. It was also a thriving ecosystem that supported a diverse array of species. Steppe bison, woolly rhinos, and numerous smaller animals all relied on the same resources. However, when human hunters arrived and significant climate changes occurred, this delicate balance was disrupted, leading to dramatic shifts in the steppe's fauna. Picture a herd of woolly mammoths struggling through winter snows, their food sources dwindling. They're not just battling cold and scarcity. They're fighting against an invisible force that's unraveling everything around them. The loss of one species can set off a chain reaction affecting dozens more, as the ecosystem undergoes dramatic shifts with the end of the Pleistocene era. Think about the plants these animals relied on for sustenance: grasses, shrubs, and even certain types of trees. When mammoths disappeared, so did their role in spreading seeds and fertilizing the soil through their dung. This meant fewer young plants growing into new forests and grasslands, leading to barren landscapes where life became harder to sustain. So next time you watch a documentary on ancient megafauna or see pictures of woolly mammoth remains, remember that these weren't just distant relics from another era. They were integral components of an intricate ecological system where every creature played a crucial role. The extinction of the woolly mammoth wasn't just the loss of one species. It was a pivotal event signaling the collapse of an entire world, the vast Pleistocene mammoth steppe ecosystem. What?